Okay, so here's the Eken H9R budget action camera. Before we take a look at the camera, let's take a look at what else you get in the box. You've got a couple of stick-on mounts here for skateboards, helmets, whatever. One has a curve, which makes it better to fit to a helmet, obviously. You've got the USB charging mains adapter, which actually has a Euro plug on it. USB charging cable, the waterproof case, which looks pretty decent. Some straps. Here we've got a skeleton case and what they call a backpack clip. Now this just clips in here, which means that you can clip it onto your chest strap if you're wearing a cycling harness for videoing. It's got a tripod mount in the bottom so you can put it on a tripod. I tend to use this quite a lot. I don't need the camera to be in the waterproof case. And when I'm paragliding, I just clip this on the chin guard of my paragliding helmet, and it means I can operate the camera right in front of my face. You've got some straps for securing these things to your arms, knees, helmets, whatever. Waterproof case comes with an open back which lets the sound in, and a completely closed back for underwater use. You've got some standoffs for use with the mounting clips. A couple of these things which are tripod mounts, male and female. Handlebar mount, cable ties, and of course, most importantly, you've got the Wi-Fi remote, which is good to a depth of 10 feet, they say, and will work up to 10 meters. Basically, the Eken H9R is the Eken H9, but packaged with the remote in the box, which I believe you can't buy separately. Also got the 2 instruction manuals. Looks very decent, good English, and covers everything you really need to know. And a small instruction manual for the remote. There's also an app to go with this. Tried installing it on my phone, but the instructions say you need a phone or tablet with a quad-core processor. Mine doesn't have that, so I couldn't actually test the app. But to download and install the app, it's a question of scanning the barcode. White waterproof case looks very decently made. And as I say, these mounts slide in like so that you can mount it on your helmet, skateboard, whatever else. Right, the camera itself. On the front you've got the power on off button and the mode button. Little blue LED there comes on when it's charging. Blue light goes off once it's charged. They say charge time 3 hours. I'd say it's certainly well over 2 hours. You've got a 170-degree wide angle lens. On the top you've got the shutter release, and that's a red LED which comes on when the camera's turned on and flashes when it's recording. On this end you've got the micro SD card slot. Will take up to 32 gig, best to use class 10 or better. The card is not supplied. Just pop it in like so with the logo towards the screen. We've also got the USB charging slot and HDMI out. On the back you've got this lovely 2-inch screen. On this end you've got buttons for scrolling up and down through the menu, and if you press and hold the lower button you'll turn on the Wi-Fi for the app. In the base here you've got the battery, which is dead easy to access. I'm not going to pull the battery out because it'll reset the date time. Got an hour and a quarter at 1080/60 on my test, which doesn't seem too bad. So that's about the size of the camera. Looks reasonably well made. I mean, this is a sub £50 camera, but that includes the remote, which would cost you £10 elsewhere. In fact, £44 currently on GearBest. Remotes tend to be about £10 anyway, so I think it's remarkably good value. Right, so to turn on, press the start button. There's a little beep, red light on there to show that it's actually turned on. And you've got this lovely screen on the back which is showing that I've got 2 hours 45 minutes recording time on that card, and that card has already got loads of test video on. State of the battery, which is showing healthy, shows that I'm in 1080 30 frames a second. Press the shutter release, that icon's gone red, counting down the video time, and nice big red light there flashing to show you that it's recording. There's no light on the front to show you that it's recording. Press again, stopped recording. I'll just point out that once it's gone into screensaver mode or power saving and the screen's gone off, you will need to press once to recover the screen, twice to actually stop it recording. So don't get caught out and think you've turned it off when in fact all you've done is recover the screen. Now to take a still, press the mode button on the front once and I'm in stills mode, and as you can see I've got the camera icon up. One press, click, I've taken a still. Press the mode button again, I'm in burst photo mode, which will enable me to take 3 photographs in 1.5 seconds, and as you can see I'm on the 12 megapixel camera setting for that. Press again, I'm in delayed photo mode, so that you can put the camera on the wall somewhere and press the shutter and then run and have your picture taken. Press again, you're in settings menu. Press again, you're back in video menu. So let's look through the settings. As I say, this is a fairly low frills camera, but that said, most of the settings that you've got on higher end cameras you probably rarely use anyway, things like colour balance and so on. I just tend to use everything on auto anyway, but scroll through to the settings. Now to access the settings, scroll through, press the shutter release, I'm in settings. If I want to change video resolution, press the shutter button and I can scroll up and down here through the options. Now some websites show 720. This firmware version's only got 1080 at 60, 1080 at 30, 4K at 15 and 2.7K at 24. Well, I think 4K at 15 is probably not very useful, so 1080 at 60 is probably the best resolution to use for most things. So if I want to change from the current 1080 at 30 to 1080 at 60, I'll scroll up to that, press that, press the shutter release, and as you can see I'm in 1080-60. So scroll down through those, press the mode button and I'm back into something else in the settings menu. You can scroll through to looping video, which is what you use if you're using it as a car cam. Time date stamp you can turn on or off. The exposure value you can change if you want to do that. Photo resolution, burst photo, which I mentioned. Time lapse is in fact periodic photographs as opposed to creating a time-lapse video. Power frequency is to stop the flicker that you might get. It actually goes through 50 Hz and 60 Hz depending on what region you're in. Language, date, time, sound indicator, screensaver, power saver, format, software version. And then once you scroll through and you're to the X, that means you can exit the menu and I'm back in video mode. So the remote, which as you can see I've not actually put on the strap yet. The remote's got just 2 buttons, very simple. You don't have to pair it, you don't have to do anything fancy. 2 icons on it. One shows a camera, one shows a video camera. So let's have a guess what does what. Press video camera, there was a beep, and I've started recording. Press video camera again, there's a beep and I've stopped recording. Press camera, it's gone straight into camera, it's taken a still. I'll just show you again. Press video camera again, I've gone straight into video camera mode and I'm taking video. Don't know if you can see that, I keep putting it too close to the camera. So good little gadget, and as I say, waterproof to 10 feet, which would be great if you're windsurfing, kite surfing, because you could mount the camera on your board looking up at you, looking all sexy and great in your wetsuit, and you could use the remote to take some fabulous pictures of yourself. As I mentioned, there is an app. If you press the lower of these buttons and hold, it says waiting for Wi-Fi connection, but as I said, I couldn't actually test the app because my phone just isn't powerful enough. Can't see how you can come out from that apart from actually turning the power off. Well, I've made a few test clips I was very impressed actually. Very sharp lens and lovely colour. My test clips are all at 1080-60. I'll talk a bit more about what I thought after the test clips. Take two, here's my usual detail shot at 1080, 60 frames a second. There's some good detail in the brickwork here. Let's see what the lens is like. Another camera test, Matt. Okay, and it's time for my dark pub test.
We just want to meet you down the back of there.
And a bit of walking along the road test at not very inspiring Bolton Cross. (1080) 60 frames a second. Same thing, 4K, 15 frames a second, so that I can zoom in and see if there is much difference.